towards that magic penetration build. I ideally would guess it's a little bit late for the magic penetration at this point. He may look to build, he's going to go for a Glacial Shroud, so we may be seeing him going in towards just getting a Frozen Gauntlet, or maybe just going into a Frozen Heart. There's probably going to be a full tank build coming up from Keys here.
Yeah, and honestly, that's exactly what he needs to be. He doesn't need to be doing damage, he just needs to be pretty much a utility tank, as he's building right now with that Righteous Glory, and it's just stuff like that. He's 1-0, he's kept up pretty decently in CS, the third dragon of the game, it's 1-1 on dragons, so whoever gets this one, then you imagine this will be the next big team fight. Both teleports, actually I lie, only one teleport will be up, it will be a She Killer, he should have a teleport just up in time, so pretty much advantage at the moment is in favour of Electi Gaming, but it's not over yet by a long shot. It's only a less than 3,000 gold lead, so it's going to be very difficult for either team to really secure this.
58 seconds to the next dragon. Keys is going to rotate down. Brixton having a good game on Orianna this time round. He's done a lot to keep himself ahead. He's 2-0-2 at this point. He's gone for the build that we probably would have expected to be a little bit more effective. It's going to be that Athenes into the Rabadons, and I think this is where potentially the game will be decided. This dragon fight, if it comes to a mid-game team fight around here, the swing will be incredible for either team. Either you have your Whatmate coming back, getting straight back into this game, getting the gold lead, potentially even from a fight, or you're going to have Electi running away with it. And this next 30 seconds will be the decider, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you see now which way they want to go for. They're trying to pressure mid lane. They're trying to keep vision control. They're actually sending down Jokerism to clear down that bot lane. Maybe get a bit of pressure there. And there's actually no mid lane turret to really take from this. So we see now they're trying to see if Electi can get some more vision down here. She Killer going to get Mega Gnar Farmer. Actually, I think it's a little bit early for it as well. So he's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage. Hasn't got that health steroid once that runs out. And I think if I was you, Whatmate, just kind of, keep them away. Try and get as much poke down as you possibly can using that missile barrage.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. He's trying to get in. Oh, they actually burned the flash. They burned a lot, actually, on everything. She Killer not really got a huge down. Keys, though, is by himself. They're going to jump back onto it, but he's so tanky right now. Here goes the shockwave, lands on the two. Crescendo hits onto nobody. The Crescendo, everything going in. Two people, though, from Electi or not Electi, Whatmate are going down. Passive from Scion, though, able to peep someone down. They're trying to go big. Hayden is still alive. That crit damage was insane. They do pick up a kill, though, on the back of it. They're trying to go back down onto Brixton. The two carries are still alive. She Killer, though, will pick up another kill for himself just off the bat. No, he won't! It's gonna be a kill back. So it ends up being a 4-for-3. Such a close fight, but it is Electi who end up with dragon control. I don't think they can take it just yet, but still, amazingly drawn out fight. And if only Keys had landed that Scion ult, they maybe could have turned that into a much cleaner fight for you, Whatmate.
You know what? I have just realised why Righteous Glory on Scion is a brilliant pick. You can activate it when you're dead!
Oh, Jesus!
It just makes sense now, doesn't it? You can have it when you're in that ridiculously overpowered dead form. You get the speed increase, plus the speed increase when you use an ability, and then you get the slow to slow down your target. I just saw it activated as Scion was dead. That's ridiculous.
That is awesome. A huge amount of mobility for someone who really looks like he shouldn't have it. As we do see WYZU support and jungler versus support and jungler, as everyone starts to collapse onto it now. Scion's got his TP, Nardo's too, so we do see WYZU coming in. The TP coming in from Scion, though. They may try jumping on the WYZU. This team's going to be by himself. They're going to try jumping the ultimate used by Kale. They're trying to keep him alive. They're going to keep WYZU. He needs to flash away, though. Graves trying to come in from the side. She Killer using anything he can. The crit, though, from Hayden. He forces the flash. Everything coming out now. He's going to get focused down. They get Propaganda. They get Jokerism. They get Keys. And it's going to be an easy dragon now for the side of Electi. They're going to rotate for that, possibly get that, and then rotate to the mid lane. Great collapse there by Electi.
Absolutely fantastic. These guys have literally run away with the game from this point in time. I think, to be honest, it's going to be a really big struggle now for your Whatmate to make their way back in. I actually just saw the Scion play again, and I thought he was potentially going to... I was just watching it with fascination. To find that out and make that combination, Keys has done some serious homework on his Scion play, but it just wasn't enough there to take down Hayden, and he doesn't have the extra AD in his bank to be able to get the damage down. He's got a lot of tank items, but not enough... flat damage to sort of make it effective. So maybe there's some tweaking to be involved there, but it's definitely something I'm going to keep on the sidelines for my own play, because that is so very entertaining, if not anything, to see. So right now, you're what, mate, a 6k goal behind. They just lost another dragon. That's 2 dragon buffs now for the side of Electi, and they've only got 1 from that early solo from Propaganda Panda. It's not looking great. Brixton right now is their only hope. He needs to be landing perfect, and I mean perfect 3 or 4 man ultimates on the side of Oriana. He needs to be making sure those shockwaves are hitting crucial targets. He needs to, and they need to make sure that Sam Hodge is not locking down the targets that they're aiming to keep alive, essentially, because at the moment Sam Hodge has done a fantastic job on that Vi. Completely different to his Maokai play from the last round.
Yeah, completely different champion. We have a quick pause. I think someone had a little slight DC issue. Hopefully be able to sort that out relatively quickly. And again, we see this kind of, Jokerism, or Corki, I should say, more so than Jokerism or anything like that, but Corki gets his Triforce, but look at the items on Graves. He's got his IE, he's got his Static Shift, he critted for something like 500 or 600 in one of those fights. It just destroyed Keys, absolutely, decimated him. He's at his mid-game power spike. He is going to be huge come the next dragon fight as well. You've got the Mikhail's Crucible built up. You've actually got the Nashor's Tooth and the Abyssal Scepter on top of Kale. So again, more big items. And as you say, the flat magic resistance or the flat magic pen, the Abyssal Scepter is going to do so much damage because it's just going to knock down the magic resistance, which actually helps Nar do more damage with his Sunfire.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the reason I think Sion is now building flat armor is if he's looking to take down Graves, obviously the armor will still apply when he's in that dead, his passive form. So what he's essentially looking to do is say, okay, I'm not going to kill someone when I'm alive, really, because I don't have any damage. And my flat damage is going to be too hard to get off. What I'm going to do is try and disrupt as much as I can, allow my team to do the damage. And when I'm dead, I want to survive as long as I can against the Graves who is going to kite me. So I'm going to build the biggest armor item I can think of, which is that Frozen Heart. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because he's basically saying, I'm the tank, I'm the engage tool, they're going to focus me, I know I'm going to die first, so I want to make sure I can survive long enough in my passive form against the Graves who's going to be auto-attacking me to do as much damage to him as I can.
Yeah, I completely see where you're going for that, but at the same time, going with that, effectively zombie Scion build path doesn't necessarily mean the best one, purely for the fact that his team doesn't really have that much damage to follow up on it. Corki's only got his Triforce and his Short Shoes. We only see the Rabadons just finished off as well onto Brixton, so unless, as you say, we see 3 or 4 man Shockwaves coming out from Brixton, and he's 4-1-3. He's having such a better game this one than he did in the first game. It's just not really working out at all, and there's a huge wave now in the top lane. They're going to use that to advantage, and they'd probably be able to TP Nar to the top lane if they needed to. They have got everyone pushing down this bot lane as well. There's so much pressure from so many angles now coming out from Electi, and you can just see that they're starting to push their mid-game power spike, and even though they have got mid-game power spike with Sona, with Graves, they've still got such late-game potential as well with Shawzy and on Kale and Chi Killer with Nar. So there's just so much potential for them to just keep snowballing this.
Yeah, definitely, and the driving seat is firmly locked into sort of 5th gear motorway speeds here from Electi. They've been snowballing everything that they can. It's just Brixton is going to be the crux here for you, what, mate. If he doesn't get the damage off, because he essentially is the damage right now, if he doesn't land the correct ultimates, and there's the engage.
There's the engage, good ultimate, but great follow-up there by Mex. He lands off a shot, or Crescendo. They get the intervention on him as well. They take the tower, they're trying to run away. Chi Killer nearly goes down, but not quite. The last big one doesn't quite connect. They get what they wanted. Electi gonna back away. Not quite sure why the Righteous Glory was used just there, but, it might just be literally just get everyone away again. But again, not a huge amount lost for Electi, but they gain a tower, and that's more pressure they can exert. There's more things they can do. It's just not really going in favour at all, really, for you, what, mate. And, they're not playing badly either. They're just getting out-rotated, out-caught out, effectively. And, for lack of a better term, outplayed.
Essentially, you've summed it up in every way that I could possibly hope to. At the moment, the Kale pick is just so fantastic. You're going up against Brixton, who has damage enough to do damage to a team where they would be easily finished off, but he's not hitting the ultimates to lock up more than 2 people, which is meaning that Kale basically has a choice where she can save one of those 2 people, and like you saw last time, completely saved the Sona under the turret there with a fantastic intervention. I believe the other person that got locked up was Cheekiller, and he's just very tanky in his own right at this point. So right now, if Brixton's not making Shawsey decide between himself, Hayden, and maybe even Mexi, then you're not going to have any joy in these coming team fights, because it's going to be an easy decision for Shawsey. But Shawsey is not putting himself in a position where he's going to be locked up by a shockwave. He's staying in the back line and then looking to engage after he's used the intervention, after all of the cooldowns have been blown from your what, mate. Once that shockwave's down, you've got nothing to fear.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, the one thing they do have to fear, though, now is a recurve bow on top of Gnar. That means more auto attack damage, more... I'm not quite sure where this build would go, potentially, but it's, you know, a new meta, new champions, new everything. It's gonna be, it might be viable, but as you say, you know, it's so much happening right now, and, you know, fair play to Shawsey. He has been the kind of shining light almost, apart from obviously the obvious Hayden on Graves. He's been keeping himself safe. He's been keeping himself away from the hard engage, that when it comes to using his intervention, he's able to use it on to someone else rather than having to use it on himself. He just picked up a Sheen, looking to maybe pick up a Lichbane. Doesn't even need the Zhonya's at this point in the game, and you know, 4 towers to 1, 15 kills to 9. It's now a 6,000 gold lead, so it hasn't really ascended really from anything, but it is still looking very much in favour of Electi. They've got the Quicksilver Sash now on top of Graves. They've got, as well as the Mikhails, 2 Sunfire Capes on Vi and Gnar with that flat magic resistance reduction from the Abyssal Scepter. They're just, in prolonged team fights, they just do so much damage.
They are, yeah, I mean, they've got, goodbye Brixton, potentially. Oh, the spell immunity, though.
Spell immunity.
Shockwave.
Yeah, they get it, turn around. They might be able to get it. The intervention has been used. They're trying to use everything now. The Mikhail's used. They're going to get it. Oh, good flash there from Shawsey, but I don't think it's going to be able to save him. They get the TP coming in as well. He's trying to turn it around. It's going to be Morgana picking that one up. They're trying to jump back on the Shamhal. She gets taken down. Now Mexi's in trouble. But while all that's happening, he uses a crescendo. Cheekiller trying to go in. Morgana did go down. It's going to be Hayden coming in for cleanup duty. He is now the janitor of the team. He's trying to come in. Proper Panda. Jokerism's trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. It's a triple kill. Can he go for a quadra or maybe even a pentakill? I don't think it is. There's 2 very big tanks. He may be able to turn this back around on top of Proper Panda. Proper Panda needs to be careful, but I think they're going to be able to get it away. Good idea from mate. They come out, but Hayden is so far ahead. Regardless of that engage, they still end up getting 3 kills on top of their AD carry.
It's fantastic. I mean, Keys right there. You saw the power that he had if he did manage to get into the fray onto the squishy targets. And actually, all in all, when it's all said and done and dusted, not a bad fight for your mate. But Hayden is the target that you want to be locking down. And unfortunately, he's just so elusive at this point with that Quicksilver Sash on top of that quick draw. It's going to be difficult to actually manage to make sure he goes down easily. To be honest, if they don't get Graves, I don't see any way that mate are going to win a decisive team fight. And you saw how much effort it was there just to take down Shawsey and Sam Hodge. That required a lot of factors going well in favour of mate.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's just something that now the last Whisper finished up as well. Actually, they started off the Dragon for Electi. They're going to keep going with this. They have got technical positional advantage, but Keys has got his ultimate. He may want to go into on top of this. They're still trying to poke them down. It's actually a pretty decent fight, but Propaganda Panda, actually Cheekiller needs to be careful. They do end up getting the Dragon, but there may be a re-engage. Shawsey gets caught up. Here they go with the sign-out. They land on the Hayden. They need to jump on him as quickly as about to can. The intervention was used. Shawsey is the one who's the advantage. Propaganda go down. Crescendo used defensively to try and keep everyone there. Cheekiller now the focus for everyone else. He used the ultimate, gets 2 people locked up. This is going to be mate. Oh, good shockwave. He gets caught onto Hayden. They're trying to get Shawsey now as well. It's going to be so close. He ends up getting him in the end. Corky goes down, but Mexi is the next target. Brixton! Oh, they turn it around. They're able to keep it out. Mexi, that is a big lumberjack chasing after you. They're also trying to chase after Kale. Brixton not able to find anybody. It ends up being a 3-4-3. Keys is on the hunt though. Don't really think they're going to find him though, which is a little bit unfortunate. He's given them the runaround, and Shawsey going to be cheeky enough to take that one, but the Dragon did go in favour of Electi. That was the big factor.
Yeah, I've got to say, Brixton was saved there from the roar of the Slayer from Keys slowing Sam Hodge as he came out of that Vault Breaker. It meant he couldn't connect and get on top of Brixton, and that meant Brixton was free to pick up the kill there. But you see, and these fights are slowly turning. The cogs are slowly going in favour of your what, mate. But I have to say, there's a big item being picked up on Hayden now, and I don't think Ceirnan's going to have this presence versus him as he did previously. The Last Whisper has been completed.
Yeah, Last Whisper was completed on that last fight as well. But as you say, I think an even bigger item that we need to look for is Shawzy with that Lich Bane. So he's going to be chunking people for absolute. So who do you focus now? Do you focus the hugely fed Graves, or do you go for the slowly scaling Kayle? It's such a hard decision for them now to try and deal with this. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. It's such a difficult one for them to do. They do pick up a tower.
Oh,
good shockwave. That was a huge amount of damage as well. They're going to actually put in Propaganda. That's a great Grand Skyfall. They're going to jump on the Hayden. The crescendo misses completely. They use the collateral damage. The Divine Intervention is not going to be enough. There's 2 kills. This could be what mate needs. They need to try and push off this. There is 40-second death timer on the Hayden. They're going to try to tank up this turret. They should be able to. That was a great catch. Exactly what they needed.
I told you, as soon as Brixton managed to land the shockwaves on the targets that he needs to, he's going to start winning these fights for you, what, mate? And those were 2 fantastic targets for the shockwaves to lock up. And then the immediate engage, there was no hesitance coming out from you, what, mate? Keys and Propaganda Panda were right on top of them and managed to take him down. The QSS was burned, but he went down anyway. That was brilliant from Brixton, and he is putting you, what, mate, on his back right now. And he needs to. He needs to keep their dreams alive of getting into the Four Nations tournament.
Yeah, and as we say, that was a fantastic shockwave. He landed, and the amount of damage, he is huge right now. He's got the flat pen from the Void Staff. He's got the Rabadons. He's got a mana regeneration. He's going forwards at Zhonya's as well. As we do see maybe a little bit of a desperation Baron as we see Shawzy and Keys. Keys, you do not really have magic resist, so I wouldn't really want to be fighting that one too late, but I think it actually delayed them long enough to be able to regroup and go for this Baron. Actually, no, there's no wards on it, so this is going to be Electi going for it. I feel like Propaganda Panda needs to try and get something into this. He's not been able to do it. I don't think he has a ward either. He has nothing to show over this. Here comes Weedu. They may go for the flash engage. This could be huge. They're trying to see if they get something. It's not going to be enough. They get completely caught out there by a lack of vision. Corki was in the bot lane recalling, had to go back. Baron does go in favor of Electi, and that is huge right now, especially at this stage in the game.
That is so huge. They just didn't react to it quick enough, and now the Baron is sitting on Electi. This is going to be so difficult for your what, mate, to go up against. They've got that increased AD and AP. They're going to have those massively buff minions that will help push down their lanes when they are in the vicinity of them. But your what, mate, not resting on their laurels, looking to clear out the Electi jungle.
Oh, they're looking for a catch. This is really what they need now. If they can kill off Hayden or anyone else really off the side of Electi. He's teetering. He's teetering.
He's deliberating.
Yeah, I think they realize it's a little bit quiet around the map. No one really knows where anyone is. And I don't really think. Oh, here comes the ultimate actually coming out from Pantheon. They're gonna jump onto Hayden. He has to force the flash. That's very nicely done. They're gonna try to jump onto Sam Hodge. There comes the flash engage. They may be able to get him actually. I don't know if they have enough damage though. They're going to be able to turn around, but oh, Scion Keys, oh, lands into the side of the wall there, so he had to burn up his ultimate, but this is just burning more Baron time. It actually works out for them. They burned a good a flash as well off of Hayden, so he's not going to have that come this, and he's starting to lose his effectiveness now coming into the late game. If he gets caught by a shockwave, he could be dead in an instant.
Oh, but Cheekiller's looking to make the engage.
He's looking to make the engage. He goes in with an arrow when they're trying to go into Brixton. Great shockwave there onto Hayden and to Shawzy, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down. Corki is going to have to back away. They get the crescendo off on only onto Propaganda Panda. They're still trying to turn this around. The Baron buff is still ticking over. They're getting so much more ID. They haven't got the minion wave just yet, but they've lost Orianna. It was a great shockwave, but there was nothing to follow it up with. They lose Brixton, and you've got to feel that that's going to be an inner turret. There's a huge wave in the top lane as well. They may lose 2 turrets off this, maybe even an inhibitor.
Yeah, Cheekiller was going for it. He was about to hit Mega Nartham. He really wanted that engage and managed to pick up the key target. Brixton, Propaganda Panda getting very aggressive there. The turret's going to go down. He needs to be careful.
Propaganda Panda gets absolutely decimated there by the Assault and Battery. They're going to keep pushing on this. They may have to go back down to the bot lane as there is a ginormous wave filling up. Dragging up in 24 seconds. This will give them stack number 4. And with that, combined with Baron, combined with all these other pressures, it's going to make it, again, a little bit harder for you, what, mate. And they've tried so valiantly. They've been hitting them. Brixton is 5-3 and 10. He's been doing what he needs to do. But again, Electi just making what needs to happen at the right times.
It's just brilliant. They're going to get the 15% damage to towers and structures alongside that Baron buff. It's It's going to be so difficult to stop the siege now, and they're going to push down the mid lane once they've had that back. They do have the increased time on, reduced time on their backing with that Baron buff too, which is a nifty little feature. Especially stops those inhibitor rush down the mid lane when you're trying to trade for that Baron. Not that it matters too much at this point, but yeah, Electi definitely have the advantage at this point. No other way of spelling it, no other way of spinning it. Electi are rolling on through.
Yeah, and actually they only got a quarter of that Baron buff left, so their kind of siege ability is slowly burning down, because despite having a Kayle with a Lichbane and a Graves, they have got relatively short range, so it's not going to be a huge amount of siege potential, especially when they lose that Baron buff. I feel like they're going to struggle a tiny bit. It is now just over over 6,500 gold leave in favour of Electi, but 36 minutes, it's still exceptionally close. These fights are being fought over so closely. It's a skill shot game effectively, if Brixton can land a shockwave or not.
It doesn't feel like much, does it? 6k gold for how far you think Electi are ahead at this point. It just doesn't feel like a lot of gold, and I've noticed that with a lot of games in patch 420. Oh no, they're going to try and catch them out here.
They're going to try and catch him out. Actually, Nara's not with them. He has got TP though. He's going to try and come in. The crescendo comes in. Everyone coming out. They did so jumping onto Hayden completely. He gets obliterated, and they're able to turn around this fight. They're trying to jump back. Morgana goes down.
Oh,
Jokerism goes down as well. Turbo Panda gets bloody well destroyed in that set. Absolutely decimated. Keys not able to pick up. That shockwave misses completely. This is the fight. This is the game. That is Electi. They're going to be able to push down that top lane turret. They only lost Hayden. It started off so brightly for you, what mate. But you've got to feel now that everyone dead apart from Sion. Keys, as we said, he went full tank, but he has nothing really at all. They're going to lose the inhibitor turrets. This is the final push. That was absolutely insane. Electi going to be able to push this one in. They actually might take another inhibitor turret or Nexus or inhibitor turret just in case, and actually they might end it just here, just for the fact that they mightn't feel comfortable just with the lack of minions. But a great turnaround from Electi in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, they've picked up an inhibitor and inhibitor turret. They've got so much on the board for them now, and obviously Hayden was the only casualty there for the Electi side, and that won't be playing too much on their mind when they almost managed to get a clean ace out of that one. Like you said, they could have potentially gone for the finish, but they didn't have their big tower destroyer, which is that Hayden there on the Graves. And obviously Jokerism and Wizzy U going down so early in that fight meant their respawns would have been sort of lining up around the time they may have been taking the Nexus, so playing it safe now and looking to maybe go down that mid lane with the exposed inhibitor. It's going to be such an easy place for Electi to pick the fight that they want, and it feels like you mate have been trying their hardest, trying every fibre of their body to get the engage off with Proper Panda, take out their key targets, and make this Sion work, but it just hasn't been working right now. Brixton is the only member that's really had an impact for you mate, and he can't be perfect every single fight. You can't expect him to do that, but he has to. He has to if you mate wanted any chance, and I feel like that chance is well flushed down the sinkhole now. There's almost no way, unless they go for a miracle steal on the next Baron in a minute and then somehow push down the mid lane and get an inhibitor. There's so little chance now that you mate can make it back in.
Yeah, Caster's Curse though. We say something and the opposite happens. But I see exactly where they're going. They don't even need to go for Baron. They can just barrel up this mid lane. There's not a lot really that mate can do. They need a last ditch engage. If they can land a Dark Binding onto someone big, then they might be able to turn this around. And honestly, anything less than a 5-man shockwave, it's not going to win.
Yeah, and they're going to turn and burn straight for this Baron that's up in 25 seconds. Cheekiller's popped that Mega Now form, obviously, just can't really control that rage as you're trying to auto-attack things, but it will be back up in the time for our next fight. But to be honest, mate have got this big top wave to deal with right now. Proper Panda's the one that's going to stay and try and defend it. He will be going for that last-ditch Skyfall as the rest of mate look to try and do their best to contest this Baron, but I just don't see many ways that they're going to make their way back in. There's just so much power on this Electi side, and so much that that mate have got to deal with. There's a Wit's End Gnar, for Christ's sake, and with a Black Cleaver. I mean, that's powerful in itself. And you're going up against the late game Vi. You've got a Lichbane with a whole cacophony of items on the Kayle. there's just too much for your mate to deal with. They can't focus anyone, then they don't have enough damage. That's as simple as it is.
As simple as it is, and here we go. He's going to go in. Great flash, catches out the carries. Corky goes down in an instant. Oriana soon to follow. They're going to jump back on the Wizzy. He's going to jump back in. It's a double kill for Kale, and this is the final battle. You've got to feel. Keys, he's going to revive now in a second. It's a triple for him. Pantheon just got out with his life. But it's going to be a sad life for him as he's going to have to watch his team go out. The flash is coming out. They're going to have to tank up these turrets, but they don't mind. Propaganda Panda valiantly trying to save up as much. He wants to go down, join his teams in the Rift Heaven, if you like, or Rift Limbo as you wait to respawn. But there's the Nexus turrets going down. There's the Nexus going down, and Electi win the series 2-1 and are through to the Four Nations top 8. We couldn't have asked for a better series.
You can't write scripts like that. Electi coming back from a devastating defeat in the second game. An absolutely fantastic performance. Sam Hodge playing out of his mind on that Vi, controlling every aspect of the game. There was no one that played badly on the Electi side there. Every single member played a fantastic game, and they've qualified for the Four Nations now. They can rest easy. They'll be back next week, vying for a top spot in the top four rather, from the Four Nations. But we are about to move on to our next best of 3 of the night, and I'm hoping it'll be ever as explosive as this one. But it is the battle of the pride between the two casters. You have Unite from Bloodpenguin's wonderful island, his pride of his country representing him there, and me, my Null team, Northumbria, repping the Null, Excoundrel from the Null all the way. I'm gonna be totally non-biased against Unite.
It's going to be a very interesting match. Unite, the last Irish team, obviously, to go into the Four Nations. They are also the Irish 2014 national champions, so they really have got all of Ireland's hopes riding on their shoulders. And as you say, the universities, for yourselves in the Null, they want to be representing, saying that intellects can still play video games. They don't just design them. And we're going to be back. We're going to be back very, very shortly, guys. In maybe about 15-20 minutes, probably about a 9:30 start. If you're wondering, please don't go anywhere.